Does your relationship with a teen seem hopeless? Teens of today face so many heavy issues, from bullying to pregnancy. They want someone to turn to, but they aren't sure where to start. We've got some answers. This is Tools for Teen Transformation with Lily Williams. We can provide tools to help teens and their parents see things a bit differently and open up the lines of discussion. Now, here's Coach Lily.
Hello, good morning, and welcome to Tools for Teen Transformation Radio. I am your host, Lily Williams, aka Coach Lily. I am a John Maxwell certified life coach, consultant, speaker, and trainer. I am owner and CEO of Perfecting Destiny Coaching Services, and we help teens to become productive citizens and live their best lives by helping them to fall in love with themselves and to get rid of limiting beliefs, thoughts, and ideas that does not add value to them. We believe we can change teen behavior by changing what and how teens think. Today's topic is going to be teen volunteers add value to community and themselves. Our radio show today will examine the rewards of teens giving back to their community through volunteering. And our guest today is, our special guest is City Councilwoman Crystal Sugg, and she's going to help our teen explore ways to earn volunteer credits. She's going to help our teens to learn a lot about volunteering that you may not have known. And she's going to help you through firsthand experience. City Councilwoman Crystal, I'm going to let you introduce yourself to our audience this morning. I'm passing the mic on to you.
Well, good morning, everybody. Again, my name is Crystal Suggs. I am a city council member in the city of Kinston, North Carolina, and also the board chair for a youth organization named Kinston Teens Incorporated that my son founded and started at age of 14 actually, in 2014. So not only do I serve the city through civic engagement, I also serve the city by helping influence a lot of teens into doing service projects.
And we know, thank you so much, City Councilwoman Crystal Sugg. Thank you, first of all, for being here, for taking out this time out of your schedule to be with us and our teens to help encourage them along the way today. We know that volunteering is so important. You being on the city council, you've got a different idea about volunteering than the rest of us that don't, because you can see such an integral part of the youth and how it even benefits the city as being our public service and things like that. Why don't you start this morning by just giving us your definition of what volunteering is?
To define volunteering, I would say it's when someone or an organization or a group of people participates in activities without a charge and without seeking social gain or anything, but they're just doing it as to benefit someone else and to give a service to someone else or to other individuals or organizations. So it's giving yourself freely without seeking any retribution for it.
I like that definition too. And I'm of the same persuasion that is given. And that's what we want our teens to know. That's what we want our whole show to be about today, how that they can give back to their community. And as we suggested in our topic today, teen volunteers don't just add to the community, but the community adds to our teens. Didn't we talk about that just a little bit, Councilwoman?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And it makes a big difference, the impact that the teens have and the influence that they can donate of themselves, because they really need to know that their thoughts and their ideas matter. And that's the integral part of them working with our organization.
I like that. And the one word that you just used, I want all our teens to pick up on. City Councilwoman said, impactful. You have, and your thoughts and ideas. I'm telling you now, Miss Sugg, that they can think a whole lot further than I can right now. Their thinking is so out of the box compared to our traditional thinking. So we're grateful for that. Aren't we?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. And when we look back over history, almost all of the major movements were actually started by young people. That says a lot. That really speaks volumes. The things that have had major impacts on our communities, our states, our country were actually movements that were started and primarily influenced by young people.
You are so right when you think about it. You're so right when you think about it. I tell you, because, and we want to certainly say thank you for all that you do for our great city here in Kinston. And we want to say thank you for all that you do as being the board chair and such an integral part of the Kinston Teens for our community. We thank you. Hats off to you. We thank you in advance for that.
Thank you.
Thank you. We know that there are so many benefits to our teens giving of their time. You know what? Let me say this while I'm in my zone. Now, we talked about a lot of things, but you know the one thing we talked about? Because this is Tools for Teen Transformation, and because we do everything that we can to give our kids tools, we're giving them new ideas, we're giving them strategies, changing their mindset, changing their thought processes, helping them to make better decisions and better choices through volunteering. Because we know that if you're given that time being productive citizens and volunteering and impacting the community, you don't have time for things that are not going to add value to you. Didn't we talk about that some?
Absolutely. And it gives them a new outlook and a new approach on doing things, because idle minds truly are opportunities for mischief. So therefore, if we keep them busy and keep them engaged and allow them to express themselves and come up with ideas to implement, it gives them more of a reason to improve. And every day, each of us should be compounding on making ourselves a little bit better than the day before.
I like that. I am enjoying the show today, Councilwoman. I'm enjoying our interactions today. And it is certainly hitting home with me because I'm so in tune to getting our teens in a better light. And even that the community can see them doing. And I tell you this, I'll say that our teens are far more advanced. They're doing way more wonderful things than they're getting credit for. I think one thing, Councilwoman, is that people just don't know what they're doing. Right. You think that might be one of the misconceptions, that our teens are not as productive as they need to be?
Right. And the thing is, never be ashamed to let your light shine. And that's one thing that I say as a coach as well to my young people is never be ashamed to let your light shine. And just because your light is shining, it's not dimming anybody else's. So advocate for yourself. Promote yourself. If there is something that you have that's going on, that's going well, and you know it's making a difference, don't get dismayed and not promote yourself, because it's very important. Other young people really need to see that there's somebody who's just like them and of their peer group that's moving forward and doing things. So I'm a strong advocate of young people being able to promote themselves and get publicity. However, we just spoke about volunteerism not being for accolades, but at the same time, there's a crisis in our country where young people need to be viewed as the movers, the shakers, and the ones who are willing to make a difference. So that's why I advocate for young people to promote the good work and good deeds that they do.
I do too. And you know, another benefit of them volunteering, and you just spoke to some of it there, that they can earn skills, they can learn skills, to promote themselves in a better light. And you know what else? they can gain experience. They can gain, because I know that you're working with them in the community, getting college credits and all those kinds of things. And you just said that they should learn to promote themselves.
Right.
And that will add even to their job resumes.
Exactly.
Every time we're looking at our teens volunteering, we're not looking at them just doing a one-time thing. We're looking at these teens developing lifelong learning skills that will take, right? I tell you, skills that will take them on through life, right?
Right. And those are things that they need. So the more they volunteer, the more they get experience with public speaking and communicating, the more experience they get with being able to find other resources. Because they come up with projects and you can have all the great ideas, but now you have to tap into your resources to make sure that this project can manifest. So this gives them opportunities to kind of like beam off of each other and share ideas and bounce back. And they form teams, and they actually, before they even realize it, they have formed their own networks. They form their own boards. So all of these are life skills that they get to take, and it transforms them into adulthood, where their next steps or their next the next things that they do in life, they already have experience at sitting at tables and thinking about things and having respectful discourse if necessary, but sharing ideas and coming to some solutions about things. So these opportunities of volunteering always produce good seed when it comes back to what they will have in the future.
Always. I like that word, always. It will. When they are volunteering and taking actions in their communities. One other thing I want to say, as being a life coach, we always worry about increasing self-esteem. We worry about increasing self-confidence. We worry about getting teens to believe in themselves, team players. All of what you just mentioned, when teens are doing that and setting their own boards, these are the things that are happening to our teens. I know when I go and volunteer, and I know when you volunteer, City Councilwoman, that increases my self-confidence. It says, wow, I can do this or I can do that, and I've done it for someone else. That's my pleasure. Mm-hmm. That is my pleasure. And I say to myself, improving self-esteem and self-confidence, and just how much more value is that we're saying our show today is that you add value to the community, but think how much value that's adding back to our teens, don't you think, City Councilwoman?
Absolutely. One thing that we always do after each project, and even after our member night meetings, is we reflect. We come back to the table, we sit around, and they reflect. And I say we because oftentimes I'm in the room, but this is a youth-led organization, and it's all youth who are involved in the decision-making and plannings of their activities and events, but oftentimes I'm in the room. So I get to kind of oversee, and I get to listen out, and I get to just monitor the progress that they make. But they come back and they reflect about the different events. And the most gratifying feeling that I get as an adult who's mentoring to these kids is that they always feel a lot more better. They feel better about themselves. They feel more humble. They are in tune with situations that possibly they would have never even had an opportunity to experience or see the things that they've been privileged to, that there are so many other who are unfortunate and don't have the access to some of the things that they have. So it's a great opportunity for not only for them to do something good for somebody, but it's a reality check because truthfully, there are so many teens and young people who are just oblivious to the life around them that's outside of what is their normal.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right. And I tell you, when you mention the word reflect, I'm just thinking, City Councilwoman, how much more our country, our community, our homes, our churches, our schools. I'm just so thinking right now, if we had the opportunity and would engage in that process of reflecting, trying to figure out what went right, did not go right, and what we might be able to build on. And when you're working with your group, the Kinston Teens, we're so thankful that that group is a part of our community where we can start teaching our teens at an early age how to do that. That is awesome. That one thing will help them in life when they're having their jobs, when they're having their families, when they're having to be connected on other teams. I love that word, reflect. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Yes, ma'am.
One other thing you mentioned, City Councilwoman, you said that, a lot of our teens are just not, I tell everybody that if our teens have not been exposed and experienced to the things that you're asking them to do or requiring them to do or expecting them to do, then your expectations might be short. Mm-hmm. We are looking at, in our Kinston Teens and all around Kinston and all around the world, our show today is to try to get our teens involved in giving back to their community so that their communities can give back to them. And we mentioned some hands-on experience, City Councilwoman mentioned, just experiences. Can you talk with us just a little bit about some of the experiences that organization is affording our teens here in our wonderful city?
Yes, ma'am. A few of the projects that they have been involved with started out with, I think their very first project was collecting winter gear, hats, gloves, scarves, and even socks for the homeless shelter. However, the project grew so tremendously that we had more than enough to supply our local homeless shelter. We were able to go out into communities and share some of those products with people in the community, share those products with different schools to make sure that, when students came to school on cold days, like today it was 18 degrees here in Kinston, North Carolina. But, we made sure that there were hats and gloves available at the schools so that they could share those with their students. And just the impact and the feelings from those reflections that the kids had from that, they gained personal satisfaction knowing that they make a difference in the lives of other people. We've fed at the elderly homes and stuff, and they go through the elderly centers and visit, and they've taken crossword books, word search puzzle books, and different things to elderly. They will stop by sometimes and just have some little free time with them and entertain with them and just talk and share stories, and that's very important.
City Councilwoman, City Councilwoman, I know we have got so many things to share. We're going to take a break. On the other side of the break, please come back with us to hear some more about what we're doing here in our city. This is Tools for Teen Transformation Radio. I am your host, Coach Lily Williams, and our special guest today is City Councilwoman Crystal Sugg. Please come back with us.
Become our friend on Facebook. Post your thoughts about our shows and network on our timeline. Visit facebook.com/Voice America.
All over the country, we're seeking ways to stop just one more teen school shooting, to stop just one more teen suicide, just one more teen pregnancy, and just one more teen drug and alcohol addiction. Policies, rules, and regulations will not change teen behavior. The one known research-based strategy to change teen behavior is to change what and how teens think. As a result of using the concepts, ideas, and strategies outlined in Tools for Teen Transformation, teens have fallen in love with themselves, raised their self-esteem, made better choices, and changed their behaviors. They are living productive lives. Look for the book Tools for Teen Transformation coming soon and to be announced first at Coach Lily's website, perfectingdestiny.com. You may also visit her website if you'd like to support the cause of empowering youth, teens, and young adults to love themselves and add value to their lives and everyone around them. That's perfectingdestiny.com. And be sure to look for Coach Lily's upcoming book.
Are you a game changer in disguise? Are you tired of waking up every day saying, they soar like eagles and I'm stuck in the nest? Well, wonder no more. It's time to soar. Of the world's millionaires, billionaires, and game changers, almost all started with at least one unique idea. Join Crystal for a controversial look at triumphs, tragedies, tools, and secrets for living a fun, financially free life with her successful guests. Listen to Soaring with Eagles, Tuesdays at 8 a.m. Pacific Time on Voice America Empowerment. And get ready to soar. Are you where you want to be right now? We live our lives sometimes looking at others and thinking the grass is always greener on their side, not realizing that we have the power within us to pursue our dreams. It begins with a head start in the right direction, and that head start is with host Carla D. Walker and From the Inside Out. Believe in your abilities and take action. Listen live every Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Time and 6 a.m. Pacific Time on the Voice America Empowerment Channel.
It's your world. Motivate, change, succeed. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
You are tuned in to Tools for Teen Transformation with Lily Williams. Reach out to Coach Lily via email at perfectingdestinylifecoach@gmail.com. That's perfectingdestinylifecoach@gmail.com. Now, back to Tools for Teen Transformation.
Thank you for coming back. You are in tune to Tools for Teen Transformation Radio. I'm your host, Lily Williams, and my special guest today is City Councilwoman Crystal Sugg. Now, before the break, we were sharing with you some of the things, and they do so many that would be 2 or 3 radio shows, but she's going to share some of the things that the Kinston teens do here in our great city of Kinston. Councilwoman Suggs, we're ready for you.
Okay. We are an organization, as I've said it, they're totally youth-led. So they have gone before the city and with proposals to ask the city to allow them to head up projects that are relationships between the city of Kinston and this organization, Kinston Teens. So now they are the organizers and planning of the local Adopt a Street program, the Adopt a Vacant Lot program, which are in conjunction with the city, where people and organizations come together and decide to adopt a street, where they volunteer to go through and canvass the streets a few times a year and clean up for litter and debris. Then the Adopt a Vacant Lot program, the city owns a lot of vacant lots. So through Kinston Teens, people and organizations can come through, adopt a vacant lot. They get to, they show a plan at what they have intentions for that lot. You can do some of anything. The opportunities are endless. Put community gardens there, or just beautify them with just green space, whatever it is. And after a couple of years, 2 years of them maintaining the quality of those lots, there's an opportunity for some people to gain those lots for free through our city. So those are just 2 to name a few, but we partner with local elementary schools so that we get volunteers and we get to go in and work with some of the students. Some of the students volunteer with other different events. They host the leadership conference in the summertime, where we just have hundreds of students to come through, and they form their own activities, events, and team sharing events and stuff. They do many different events during that youth leadership conference. They host member nights each month, and different people come in, have speakers. They do ice-breaking events and team building challenges as well. So so many things. And not only that, this small town of Kinston, North Carolina, with a population of about 22,000 people, Kinston Teens has been recognized all over the country and even globally for the work that they're doing through volunteerism.
That is awesome. It is awesome to get that kind of recognition, and it is because these are the kinds of things that people are seeing from this group. City Councilwoman, there's something very, very special. I need our radio audience to know that the Kinston Teen, the founder of the Kinston Teens, you know, because every time teenagers, when you're talking to them and you're telling them what you can do, the one thing they want to know is, well, who's already done it? Who can I look at? Who can I glean from to do this? So we've got a person that we can put our hands on almost every day, and that is Mr. Christopher Sugg. Can you tell us about who he is? And I bet he's somebody very special to you, isn't he?
He is truly, truly very special to me. The founder and CEO of Kinston Teens Incorporated is Christopher J. Suggs. Chris is my son. He started this organization at 14 years old. He's currently 18 years old, and he's a sophomore at the prestigious University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, where he earned a full scholarship based primarily on his work and advocacy for Kinston teens. Chris started this organization on his own. It wasn't influenced from his mother or other members of the community, the adults of the community. This is something that he came up with on his own, that he wanted to reach out to other young people and say, let's build us a table and invite people to come to our table because we have something to offer. So he was quite a visionary, and I stood with him, I supported him, and I did not know how far this would go, but oh my goodness, it has gone leaps and bounds. Chris has been exposed. Can I share some of the exposure that he's gotten and received because of the work and planning that he and this organization has done?
I think it would be wonderful for our radio audience to know some of those kinds of things. And let me say, before it slips my mind, I remember Christopher when he first started to do these kinds of things, and it is just phenomenal at the pace that he's kept with it. He's done it. He was totally committed from day one, looks like to me. He has done phenomenal things. And as a coach, I'm looking at him, I'm gleaming from him, and I see the things you're getting ready to share now, that they have come to pass because he has been such a visionary. Go ahead and share, Mom, please.
Yes, ma'am. And that was one thing that I told him when they started. He and some of his team members, I said, this is going to be big. I can already tell from the energy in this room. And what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to think, eat, sleep, and everything concerning this organization because of the impact that you're wishing for it to make. And apparently they heard it because they moved and they shook. And since then, Chris has been featured on The Real, a daytime talk show, twice. He's had 2 appearances there. He's been on CNN. He was one of the Michelle Obama Better Make Room inductees, and he was there present at the White House when former First Lady Michelle Obama made her last speech. He was invited there. He's been recognized as a global teen leader. He's been recognized as the youngest FBI Director's Community Leader. He was on Nickelodeon. He received a Nickelodeon Halo Award in 2016. He's been named on calendars. He's been recognized as one of the most influential 20 under 40 twice. Youth of the Year by the North Carolina Department of Justice. So the list goes on, and it's not because he was selfish. It was because he was selfless, and he wanted to make a difference in his community. So all of these, not only local and state, but national and global entities has recognized his hard work, dedication, and determination to make a difference in the lives of young people.
And Mom, you being on that board and being right there with them, you've been able to walk hand in hand with these teens. Now, one thing I don't think I heard you mention that he works with the governor. He's on some kind of governor's. Because I keep up now. I don't think
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Chris was named as the youngest to the Governor's Crime Commission, and he served on the Governor's Crime Commission for 3 years now. And most recently, he was just appointed by the governor to the Safer Schools. So the task force for the Center for Safer Schools. And the task force for the Center for Safer Schools have the job of being able to come up with plans and implementations for combating these school shootings and school safety. So he is one of the, he was appointed by the governor to serve on this board, and I think that is very prestigious, especially coming on the hunt of the mass shooting incidents that we had at the school in Florida. And there is truly a need for young people to voice their opinions and their information and their input in what needs to be done differently, because they're the ones who are there on those campuses, and they're the ones that get to recognize the gaps. So young people really need to be at those tables. So fortunately, he's been appointed to serve on that team as well.
He has. And before we leave our show, we're going to give you information on how to reach that gentleman with all of the social media. We'll give you those, however you call them, the URLs and all those things.
Yes,
now, look, let me tell you, when we talk about, I can just talk about the number of things that he does, and it wears me out. He's doing so many wonderful things, and we are so happy. Now, you and I talked some last night about the skill development when Chris and all our other teams are volunteering and giving back. And all of these organizations, these are not paid slots that he's working in. He is giving time, energy, thoughts, ideas. He's trying to change the mindsets of teens and adults. And he's doing a wonderful job of that. I want you to think all the skills that he's having to learn and develop. You're looking at computer skills with our volunteers. You're looking at marketing. He does an excellent job of marketing. I've really got to learn from him. He's going to have to help me with all the marketing. He's good with public relations. And now time management is probably what he has to work on more than anything else, because he's so dedicated and he's so committed. What do you think about that, Mom? All the skills that he has developed, you can see all the skills that the teens have developed. Can you talk about that a minute? That if our teens that are listening to us, if they will start to volunteer and give themselves back to the community, what might happen with them?
Oh, the possibilities are endless. As I just noted, the different organizations and entities nationally and globally that have recognized this teen organization and this young teen who started this organization. But, we provide a resource center for our teens, so they can come into office space, and there are computers here that they get to use to build on their skills. But through volunteering, they get to document their hours. They get to document some of the contacts that they've made with people so that they can follow up. So they are building on those computer skills. Marketing, as I said early in the show, I expect and I encourage young people to market themselves. Nobody can sell your story better than you can. So get that confidence and be able to stand before people boldly and tell them your why. Identify your why and why you're doing something and why you want to see something change or make a difference. So it's all of those things, and building those relationships is very, very integral when it comes to working through volunteerism. It may not have a dollar sign in front of it initially, but sooner or later, you will have so many skills that it builds your resume and it builds your opportunities for you to gain better employment opportunities when that time arises. So volunteering is truly the way to go.
It really is. It really is. And not just for teens, but adults too. And because we are addressing our teens this morning, we're giving you tools to put in your tool bag to carry with you. We're helping you with ideas. And our last segment of the show, we'll give you bunches of ideas on what you might do to volunteer in our community. Before we do that, we want to make sure that you've got your pen and paper so that you can follow this one young man, Christopher Sugg. And let me tell you, we talked about, developing skills, and I said one thing, mom and board chair for Kinston Teens. I said he's probably having to work really hard with time management. Radio audience, he would have been with us today had he not had to be in classes. But hopefully and prayerfully, he'll be able to spend time with us a little later. But his schedule is so demanding. But I am sure, he is changing ideas. He will be giving you strategies. He's helping to change the mindsets. And he's changing the thought processes. When you say, this team did it, I can do it too.
Absolutely.
Get your paper and pen. And in this 3 minutes, we're going to give you how to get up with him. Can you help us with that, Mom?
Absolutely. Again, I've said his name is Chris Suggs, so he can be followed on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter by Chris J. Suggs, and that's ChrisJSuggs. So that's his Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter name, Chris J. Suggs. He also has a website, chrisjsuggs.com. The organization is Kinston Teens. Kinston Teens is the same on their social media handles with Kinston Teens, at Kinston Teens on Instagram and Twitter. You can find us on Facebook, and as well as on the World Wide Web. Sometimes we kind of forget about the web, but we have an awesome web page with so much information there, and you can contact us through there as well, www.kinstonteens.org. So those are the ways that you can find him, reach out to him. He's accessible, and he's very personable, so he follows back. If you follow him on social media, he'll follow you back. He responds. I'm just really proud of him, and I can't say enough how proud I am of him, because he makes a way to balance all of this. There are times where we have to travel. I've been exposed to so much just because of him. And he still makes time to make sure that his schoolwork is done. He makes sure that his professors are notified. And when we come back, I really want to share one of his latest achievement and accomplishment with everybody, because I think that it's truly fascinating, if that's okay, Ms. Willie.
That will be wonderful. We will return shortly with more Tools for Teen Transformation Radio. I'm your host, Lily Williams, a.k.a. Coach Lily Williams, and our special guest is City Councilwoman Crystal Sugg, Board Chair of Kinston Teens. Come back with us.
It's your world. Motivate, change, succeed. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
All over the country, we're seeking ways to stop just one more teen school shooting, to stop just one more teen suicide, just one more teen pregnancy, and just one more teen drug and alcohol addiction. Policies, rules, and regulations will not change teen behavior. The one known research-based strategy to change teen behavior is to change what and how teens think. As a result of using the concepts, ideas, and strategies outlined in Tools for Teen Transformation, teens have fallen in love with themselves, raised their self-esteem, made better choices, and changed their behaviors. They are living productive lives. Look for the book Tools for Teen Transformation coming soon and to be announced first at Coach Lily's website, perfectingdestiny.com. You may also visit her website if you'd like to support the cause of empowering youth, teens, and young adults to love themselves and add value to their lives and everyone around them. That's perfectingdestiny.com. And be sure to look for Coach Lily's upcoming book.
We experience all sorts of changes as we move through life, marriage, raising children, moving up the corporate ladder, and saving for retirement. To maneuver smoothly through these changes, tune in to Practical Solutions for Life with host Catherine Wilking. Through engaging guests, fun topics, and feng shui solutions, you will learn how to take charge and move from chaos to prosperity. Be sure to listen live every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific Time on the Voice America Empowerment Channel.
If you've always wanted to take the lead in your life, but you don't believe you are a leader, then it's time to change that mindset. Leadership expert Linda Patton will help you discover the powerful leader that lives within and teach you the leadership skills that will transform your business and your life. Stepping into your leadership brings reality to your vision, and leadership can be learned. Find out more on Leadership Stars every Monday at 10 a.m. Pacific Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Time on the Voice America Empowerment Channel.
Think you've seen everything there is to see in online television? Let us surprise you. Visit voiceamerica.tv today for sports, health, business, and more on demand 24/7.
You are tuned in to Tools for Teen Transformation with Lily Williams. Reach out to Coach Lily via email at perfectingdestinylifecoach@gmail.com. That's perfectingdestinylifecoach@gmail.com. Now, back to Tools for Teen Transformation.
Thank you so much, teens. Tools for Teen Transformation Radio is back. Thank you so much, teens, adults, and all our radio audience that's listening. I'm your host, Lily Williams, a.k.a. Coach Lily, and my special guest this morning. Thank you so much, Councilwoman Crystal Suggs, for taking your time and being with us on this morning. We have certainly enjoyed everything that you've had to tell us, but there's one other thing that I need to let our teens know. We always want to, when we're talking with them, we kind of want to give them facts. We want to demonstrate when we're teaching. These are the kinds of things that we know that teens require, right? So what I want to do in this segment of our show, I want you to know that if you would do the volunteering, if you would take on some things in the community, exercising your own ideas and thoughts and being visible, there are just so many things that can happen. Now, one of the things the CEO and founder of Kinston Teens, Christopher Sugg, has been able to do is this. He has been able to market himself and the Kinston Tools and the things that they're doing. He's been able to market it so well until everybody has taken notice, and that is wonderful. And you know what that says to Coach Lily? I've got to do a better job of marketing myself and my business, and that's what it says to you as adults. You've got to do a wonderful job of marketing yourself. Now, Mom and City Councilwoman, because Christopher has been so good at that, there's something that has happened to him that is just wow. It is WOW, all caps with 3 exclamation marks behind it. It is wow. Share that with our audience, and they're going to think the same thing. It is wow.
Yes, ma'am. Most recently, through marketing and promoting himself, Christopher has been named a Facebook youth leader. So with Facebook, they identified 15 young people from the world. Everybody knows that Facebook is hosted around the world, and they chose 15 young people, and he's one of those. So I say this all to say, do not be afraid to market yourself. Do not be afraid to take a chance. Do not be afraid to identify your why and stick to it. You know, there will be adults sometimes that will come into your ear and try to tell you, maybe you shouldn't do this way, or how about if instead of you trying to do something new on your own, if you come join our organization and fall up under our umbrella. But if you have it in your heart to do something and you research it yourself and you're finding that that there's passion just brewing inside of you to do something, that's what you really need to do. So Chris has served on a youth advisory council with Facebook for a few years, but most recently he's been named one of the 15 youth fellows with Facebook. So many opportunities have come our way, and I've had so many opportunities to travel all over the country with him because of his work and him going out and mentoring and conferencing and teaching other young people how to identify their dreams and pursue those things. So, yes, marketing is very, very important. And don't start feeling bad or feeling rejected when people may tell you no. Continue to push forward and make sure that the things that you see and things that you believe in, that you can provide the opportunities to make those things happen. Don't hesitate. Reach out to your local newspapers and news outlets and TV stations and radio stations and tell them about the things that you desire to see changed and what you want to do to make those things change, because that's exactly what Chris did. And lo and behold, it has landed him so many opportunities. So yes, marketing is very, very important, and this is such a prestigious opportunity for him to be able to be one of the 15 Facebook Youth Fellows, because they're sharing some very awesome resources with those 15 young people all around the world to give them opportunities to build on the things that they've already started in their communities.
I am so happy for him. And not only that, our radio audience, I am taking notes from teenagers. I'm taking notes to learn from them the things that they're doing that makes it good for them, that it can work for us too. We're still talking about the benefits of volunteering, benefits of putting yourselves out there, benefits of doing things for somebody else. You got to know, Christopher has met new people. That's what will happen to you. He's been able to explore his interests and share them with other people. That's what will happen to you. He's been able to help widen the understanding and social issues here in our community and around the world. That's what will happen to you when you volunteer. You're going to take on empathy for other people. And most of all, City Councilwoman talked about that some this morning. She said, there's not a price tag on it right now, but think about the price tag that will come. And I'm just thinking about what it is going to do for you socially. It's going to put you there that people will know that you're doing something well. Emotionally, it's going to make you feel so good. Physically, it's going to help you get out and do some activity or be some places or do some things physically. Mentally, it's going to raise your self-confidence. You're going to feel just so much better. And it will add value to you.
Yes, and one of the key things that you mentioned there is building yourself and building on the things that it will do for you. Oftentimes we think about college. You know, young people want to go to college. Most of them do. Most of them aspire to go to prestigious universities. Mm-hmm. And one thing about it is everybody that goes to those prestigious universities are oftentimes straight A students. They've done the honors program. They've done other things. You know, when it comes to academics, there's really not anything that makes anybody much different than the next person. But what matters to the most to colleges is, what did you do to stand out? What is it that you've done to make you different, to make you an asset to this school? Because they have all of the scholars. You know, the school is full of scholars, but what is it that you can bring to their community that's a little bit different? And that's one thing that we constantly remind the teams in our organization and the teams that they go out and serve, is that you have to make yourself marketable so that they want you there. Make them feel like they're missing out on something if you're not on their campus. And fortunately, you know, the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill was his most sought-out university. That was his first top university of choice, and he got in. But he wanted to make sure that he was able to get in other universities and even Ivy League schools, you know, just to be able to say, I know that I was qualified and I got that acceptance letter, and it worked. So make sure that you're doing things, you're adding those accolades and adding that service and adding those projects that are identified particularly with yourself that make you stand out. So that's one thing that everybody needs to take away with them, is that you have to be marketable so that people can seek you out as well. And you have to market yourself so that they'll know about you.
That's good. I'm so glad you reminded our audience of that. That, you know, colleges are not looking for only academics. And, you know, academics are so up top of the line, ahead of some other things. But the one thing about it is, you don't live there. You've got to live in a community, and education is so far more advanced until, you know, we don't teach, you know, just 2 + 2 is 4 now. We teach why is 4. We teach, you know, what would happen if it wasn't 4. The critical thinking part is so is what we're doing now, and the Common Cores and all those kinds of things that we're teaching. And all of it revolves around real life experiences. Yes, and that's what we're trying to get you to do, real life experiences that you'll be able to share, and that they can transfer those skills into colleges and on our jobs and everywhere else that we go. Because our time is so limited. Oh, wow. Look, City Councilwoman, we want to mention some of the things, you know, they say, well, what might I do? Or is there something I can do? Or give me one really good idea. You've already got so many ideas, so many things in every community all over the world that would love to have your hands and your feet, young people, and your brains, your knowledge, and your energy to come and help them. And City Councilwoman, you know, they got a string, and I've just kind of like pulled off the computer a few, and it would take me a month of Sundays to kind of like go down all of them. But, you know, the animal shelter, some of you love animals, you know, the nursing home, the local library, and they mentioned reading to children, nonprofit organizations helping build websites, bake sales that will help people, helping kids, crafts, community kinds of things, helping families get together. And that's important, families to get together to do things. And just so many things. You won't be looking when you ask. If you want to say, I got some time, people will say, wow, give it to me. So talk about that just a little bit, please, in our last 3 minutes.
Okay, so what I would advise anybody to do is to just start. Start somewhere. And if you don't want to do anything independently on your own, there's so many organizations in every community that's always looking for volunteers. Find something that has a youth focus, though, or a youth component to that organization if you're not ready to start out on something on your own. Follow the Kinston Teens on social media. That's the Kinston Teens, at Kinston Teens on Instagram and Twitter, Kinston Teens on Facebook. Follow Chris J. Suggs on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And just get your wheels turning about your ideas and what you want to do. But there's something out there already that you can become a part of, and you can make an influence and difference in those things. So I challenge each of you to just start. You don't even have to know exactly what you want to do, but start somewhere, start small. If it's just a flower bed in your next door neighbor's garden to help the elderly out, or if you just want to pull the trash cans to the street somewhere, but just start. And once you start, I promise you'll start making a difference. And find a grown person, find an adult that you can connect with who will help you and understand what you're trying to do and support you, because young people truly need support. Let's not take this without giving that consideration that they can have all the ideas in the world, but somebody still needs to support them. So I challenge the adults, support the young people, and I challenge the young people to just get moving.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much. This has been Tools for Teen Transformation Radio. Our special guest has been City Councilwoman Crystal Sugg and board member of Kinston Teens. I want to thank you so much for having come, and I want to remind our radio audience too, I'm your host, Lily Williams. I want you to go to my website, www.perfectingdestiny.com, and I want you to keep listening out for our book, Tools for Teen Transformation, soon. I'm your host, and there is always a more excellent way.
Thank you for joining Coach Lily and Tools for Teen Transformation. You'll want to be here for another show next Tuesday at 7 a.m. Pacific Time, 10 a.m. Eastern on the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Until then, use some of what you've learned today to start a dialogue and be there for someone. It just might save a teen's life.